think, Andy?
I think it's a tough one to call. I mean, all derbies are tough to call, Richard, but a month ago I would have just quite simply have said Hibs will win it. That's what I felt, even though it's at Tynecastle. And Hearts have enjoyed a lot of success over the years in this particular fixture. I think, but when you take the last fortnight and what's happened and the confidence that's returned to Hearts, I think you've got to fancy Hearts to continue the good run under Jim Jeffries now and win the game with all Alec Miller's problems that he has and the injuries that he's got.
It's not a bad view of the game, is it? Well, I'm not quite sure.
It's been like that for years, Richard,
right.
honestly. It's been like that for years, that hasn't changed. All those houses at the back, people just sit up there, and there'll be more and more there as the day goes on.
But what has changed is beginning to look nice, isn't it? They've done a nice job at the end that we were looking at a moment or so ago, the new stand there.
Yeah, 2 new stands up there, one across from the old main stand, which has stayed the same over the years, and straight across from that, big new stand, and then a new one behind the goal. And it's looking well, Tynecastle. It's certainly looking a lot different from when I was there, Richard, many years ago. That the new one behind the goal. And, I mean, I just think that's the way the school end there. That's the way we've got to go forward.
I'm just thinking about David talking about the amount of money these two clubs are in debt. It's a controversial thing to say, but maybe Wallace Mercer wasn't wrong. Not as dramatically to merge, but £1 grand, surely.
Well, I hope I'm not going to cause problems in Edinburgh.
Me too, said that.
But no, I totally agree with you. I think when you're looking at the finances required to run a club like that now, and 2 clubs in one city, I think that Wallace Mercer was probably wrong in merging clubs totally under one name. But I think he had a lot of things going when he was talking about merging and working out of one ground. I think when you know the size of Edinburgh, Richard, it isn't that big that you couldn't have built a nice ground there, and a really nice ground that would have serviced both clubs.
Arthur's seat, would that be right?
I hope he's up there watching today, I tell you.
If he is, he does have a good view, eh? An extinct volcano, my geographical and historical knowledge of Edinburgh tells me. OK, let's go and enjoy the Edinburgh derby. Hearts against Hibs, live here on Sky Sports, and our match commentators Billy McNeil and Jock Brown.
Thank you, Richard. Yes, welcome back. The atmosphere building for what's going to be a tremendous game. I hear a lot of optimism expressed about the chances of Hearts winning this match. Well, I would like to go against that trend and suggest to you that Hibs have only had 1 aberration in the last 6 matches. 4 wins, 1 draw, and that defeat against Falkirk last week, the first break in an excellent run. So I think even with their injury problems, they'll still be in with a big shout, Billy.
Well, I don't think there's any doubt about that, because derbies being derbies, there's always an intriguing factor about it. But I do think there's a more positive look about Hearts this part of the season than there was earlier. I felt that Jim Jeffries had come along and perhaps tried to change things too dramatically. But he's switching back to the old Hearts style just now. He's brought in some fresh blood, and at the moment it seems to be working for him.
So the players now apparently preparing in the tunnel to go out. There's the Hibs captain, Jim Leighton. Scotland's most capped goalkeeper, enjoying a rich vein of form in the twilight of a very long, distinguished career. He leads out Hibs. Well, the reception not too warm for these Hibs players as they emerge to the Tynecastle surface. Totally different though for Hearts. 20-year-old Gary Locke, the captain, the youngest captain in their history, welcomed there by the Hearts supporters. Become a very impressive stadium, this at Tynecastle. So the supporters wait, they know the teams, and let's give you some confirmation of that. And the Hearts team showing just 1 change from the team which beat Kilmarnock last week. The new signing from the firm, Paul Smith, is out unfit. But Gary Mackay comes back after missing the last 6 matches through injury.
Well, this is Hearts reverting to their old system. It's something I think they play particularly well. They make life very awkward for opposing teams in the middle of the pitch, and they hope to get enough service into the box to supply John Robertson. And if you get that supply into the box, then really there's none better, particularly in this derby, than John Robertson.
So for Hibs, they have the major blow of losing Kevin Harper and Keith Wright. That really is a savage blow in their recent form. But the bonus for them is Andy Millen is fit to return. His last game was in the Edinburgh derby 7 weeks ago, the game which finished 2 goals each. But he's now fit again to play in that defence.
I think the big problem there is replacing Kevin Harper, because he's had an outstanding first part of the season. He's very quick, he's very assured, he started to get the goals. But I do think that Darren Jackson moving into a more positive position will actually help him. I think he's happier there. I think he doesn't mind the responsibility of moving up front and being the target for goals. And I think it gives Hibs a slightly more composed look in midfield. But it certainly is going to be an intriguing and interesting contest.
So the preliminaries are almost over now, and these sides waiting to start the match. It's going to be Hibs who kick off. The match referee is Kenny Clark from Paisley. And Hibs get us underway. And the formation settling immediately into confirmation that Darren Jackson has gone back into a striking position. He played there as substitute for Scotland on Wednesday night against San Marino, coming on as a second-half substitute. And he looked very bright and lively in that role. So the opening stages in any derby, very important indeed. Settling in process, perhaps more important for Hibs with their changed formation. Here's Pat McGinley. Jackson trying to link there with Evans. Pasquale Bruno's first contribution to the play, and a reminder this in Scotland. The tackle came from Gareth Evans. A smile there on the face of Pasquale Bruno. To hear that challenge from Gareth Evans, that would give him some kind of reminder about the game here.
Well, Gareth's certainly not your typical centre forward. I don't think he minds one or two tackles himself, and certainly if Bruno needed reminding, that will have done it for him.
Well, the referees had a word with both Gareth Evans and Pasquale Bruno immediately. There must have been some little bit of speech play between the two men. In fairness, Gareth Evans, of course, an Englishman, joined the club from Rotherham United in 1988. Berry's pass back. Here's Gilles Rousset's first clearance. He was lucky there to find Bruno, I think. Well, Hibs look up for this. They're starting very sharply indeed, making the tackles. And Chris Jackson there in midfield. And the referee, Kenny Clark from Paisley, a solicitor to trade. Let's hope that side of his qualifications isn't required today. Headed away by Stephen Tweed, who's doing a marking job, it appears, on Hans Eskilsson. Gary Locke's long throw. Here's Mackay. Kept the ball in play. Evans trying to make some progress on the left. Here's Bruno. Oh, there's a very fiery tackle by Bruno. He's in serious trouble here. A yellow card already for Pasquale Bruno. A smile on the face. Well, he reacted very badly to the first challenge imposed on him.
He acts very calmly there, but look at that challenge. He's way over the top, and certainly something that can be tolerated, and I don't think he's got any complaints for.
Well, I think he could perhaps consider himself fortunate still to be on the field. He was so high and so reckless with that.
I think it's just possibly because it's so early in the game, and certainly the referee's prepared to impose his authority and thought he'd done enough.
So here's Gary Locke now pumping in the free kick. It was a free kick for the furlong Bruno initially, so there was no need for his reaction. Well, this is looking as though it could be extremely volatile. This is Gary Locke taking on Tortolano. Locke's effort well wide of the target, but when you think that Gareth Evans and Darren Jackson, Billy, are both on short fuses normally when they play, and they're playing against Pasquale Bruno, what's going to happen here?
Well, I think it's going to be interesting anyway, and certainly you're right that Darren and Gareth tend to be a bit volatile, and you would anticipate that Bruno might be something similar. He's already been booked. It may well be the best thing that's happened to him, because he knows now that he can't commit any other misdemeanor, so it may well be the best thing that's happened to him, but he started to very casually as far as I'm concerned.
Played along there by Locke, up the line for Robertson. Good recovery made by Stephen Tweed. That's Millen's clearance. Hibs now trying to work the ball in their customary fashion now from the back through midfield. That's Hunter's pass. Played across there was Gary Mackay. So a throw it is to Hibs on the far side. Kevin McAllister, one of the creative players on the flank there for Hibs, taking the throw. Here's McGinley again. This is Tortolano. Chris Jackson. Darren Jackson to Evans. Good challenge made by Berry. Strong tackle by Ritchie and Darren Jackson. Right in there by McAllister. Evans can't reach that, but the supporting player is Tortolano. This is still promising for Hibs. He's looking for a corner. He thought that was deflected by Gary Locke. Now the linesman or the referee agree. His captain is a quiet word with Tortolano.
They've looked much the more settled side. You know, they're getting down both flanks, and really, Joe Tortolano really should have done better. That ball's got to get whipped in across the face of the goals, and as early as this, it might well have had a telling factor.
There's Eskilsson wandering across now to the left. Interesting to see that Stephen Tweed has started marking him. He's let him go across there to be looked after by Gordon Hunter. Andy Millen, the spare man. Here's Millen now challenging Robertson. That was awkward. Well, Jim Layton appeared very calm indeed there, watching that go across the face of his goal.
I think John Robertson really just does all he can there. He's not all that far from hitting that back post in actual fact, but there was never any likelihood of any support from his fellow forward there.
Millen plays it long this time, looking for Evans. The marker again is Bruno. Making no challenge though. It's a good turn by Evans. This is Hunter. McAllister has McGinley inside. Well won by Ritchie. Jackson hoping there for a handball decision against Gary Mackay. It didn't happen though. Good tackle there by Millen. Misunderstanding between Jackson and O'Neill. John Miller holding that wide left position. Eskilsson again with his marker, Gordon Hunter. Foul by Hunter on Eskilsson. So free kick to Hearts. And a chance here for Paul Ritchie. And John Miller are the big threat inside the box here. There's Ritchie. And 20-year-old. Led in by Robertson. Headed away by Millen. Layton had come for that, but Millen took no chances. The Hearts enjoying a good spell of possession here. This is Gary Mackay. Robertson's head flick inside. Eskilsson screening the ball well. There's Locke spinning away from Millen, and McAllister can't prevent a corner kick to Hearts. Well, that'll give Hearts some encouragement.
Well, it's opened like a typical derby because it looked as though Hibs were just getting the ascendancy there, and lo and behold, Hearts have started to take the pressure since then.
Robertson again with a set piece. Lots of movement inside the area. Bruno has arrived very late to add his physical presence to the attack. Now Berry. Lofting up forward. Looks as though we had the team formation just about right, Billy.
Well, that's right, and you know, both teams are making it tight in midfield. They're packing that midfield, and obviously looking for someone to put, as far as I can see, to put the foot in the ball and start creating a chance or two up front. I think it's something that's going to be important as the game develops.
Bruno to Mackay. Mackay playing just in front of the back three in the holding role, the sitting position in there, allowing Johnston and Fulton to break on each side of him and support the front men. That's Michael O'Neill opening the play out. Now Hunter. O'Neill wants the ball back, and he takes it. It's such an impact for Northern Ireland against Austria in midweek in the European Championships. Scored a couple of goals, Michael O'Neill, in that game. Fulton's first real contribution to the play. Very skillful player, good passer. Post wide there for Berry. Good running there by Alan Johnston, trying to get away from Stephen Tweed. Tweed stood up well to him. Young centre-half here, Billy, who's improved enormously in the last year.
Yes, that's right. He's a good-looking prospect. Interesting enough, he's quite comfortable on the deck for such a big lad. You know, I'm not convinced that he uses his height, particularly in the opposing team's box. I don't think he uses it to advantage yet, but he's certainly a big lad that's learning and progressing.
Bruno again with a big killer. He initially miscued, I think, the attempt at a clearance in the first place. That's careless play. Here's Hibs in possession again. Michael O'Neill takes over. Tortolano called for that on the left. Stephen Tweed breaks outside him. He's taken Gary Locke away. It was a good run by Tweed. Ball finds McAllister. Back with McGinley. Wanted too long on the ball there. The supporters showing an offside decision against Darren Jackson, which wasn't forthcoming. Hunter. Darren Jackson coming short. Miscue by McAllister. Nimble play by Alan Johnston. He's very skillful indeed. Good dribbler. That Eskilsson, who's shown lots of movement up front in the early stages of the match for Hearts. Millen again now, facing Alan Johnston. Determined play by McAllister. That's O'Neill. Darren Jackson and Paul Ritchie colliding awkwardly. Jackson explaining himself and Ritchie looking very calm.
It's handbags at 10 paces, really. I don't think there's any need for referee to take any action there.
Jackson plays it back. This is McAllister and Jackson again. Tortolano closed down quickly by Gary Locke. Well, a high ball to Gareth Evans, really unlikely to cut much ice. Well, Bruno's inviting a problem there. He looks extremely calm, the Italian defender. Now, Michael O'Neill, very much the creative man in midfield for Hibs. Good turn by Evans, he's very good at that, spinning off defenders. Support from Hunter coming from the back. Well, Hibs coming into this match with a very positive attitude. Careless ball into the box, though, allowing Mackay to clear. No offside flag given this time. Darren Jackson was on his way back. That's the far side linesman, Douglas Smith, employing the directives now not to flag for players in that position coming back. Here's John Robertson. Johnston now going to the right. Quite frequently wide on the right for Hearts. That's a good ball in. Eskilsson! It's a magnificent save from Leighton. Eskilsson, I don't think I can believe that.
Tremendous effort. Great ball in from Alan Johnson. Eliminates the defenders, and Eskilsson gets enough on of it. There's Jim Leighton still showing that he can do a bit of work. But again, it's a tremendous save because he's fully stretched at that. And obviously the big centre forward will just be that bit disappointed.
Corner kick won by Hunter, swept away by Tortolano. Well, the value of a top-class goalkeeper evident once again. Here's Gary Locke. That'll give Hearts some encouragement, though. The way in which Alan Johnston found the space for the cross. He's now moved to the right-hand side of the Hearts attack, Johnston. Some adjustments required by Hibs to cope with that. McAllister's been penalised. Man across £225,000 from Falkirk 2 years ago. Here's McAllister. Now Steve Fulton will take this. Steve Fulton has very accurate left foot. That wasn't read by any of his teammates, so the clearance from Tortolano relieves the pressure for the moment. Well, Jim Leighton, at the age of 37, still capable of that kind of goalkeeping.
That's Jim at his best. You know, behind the defence, he's always concentrating, he's always alert, he's always sharp, and that really was a tremendous save at a vitally important time in the game. I thought that Eskilsson had done everything right. He got enough of the head on it. He directed it away from Jim towards that post, but the big fella got across and got a hand to it.
71 internationals for Scotland, 35 shutouts. Very impressive. There he was again, cutting off John Robertson. Sharp, alert. A total rebirth in his career after these traumatic times at Manchester United. Now Stephen Tweed. Bruno challenging Jackson. Confident play by Locke. Johnston now getting off to this right-hand side where he can be so damaging to defences. Eskilsson. It's good play from Hearts. Now Gary Locke. Good catch again by Jim Leighton. His eye is in all right. An excellent throw out too to set up the counter-attack. Hibs getting players forward quickly to support Kevin McAllister on the right. That's for McGinley. Extremely ambitious. Pat McGinley trying very hard to re-establish himself. Usually a good goal scorer from midfield. Only got 2 this season for Hibs. But that time at Celtic, Billy appeared to set him back a little rather than improve his form.
Well, that's right. I think it was a blow to him because he had performed well for Celtic. Indeed was the leading goal scorer. But that type of thing, I think all he's trying to do there is trying to get a bit of confidence going in his team, get a shot on target, test the goalkeeper, but he wouldn't do much with that effort.
Eskilsson against Tweed. Gordon Hunt up, trying to get the ball forward, but you see the closing down work done by Fulton there. Hearts have the throw. Signs here that Hearts are settling to the task. Well, the sun causing a problem for John Miller taking this throw, identifying teammates. Johnston has a roving commission. He's over on the left now. Good angle ball for Eskilsson. Trying that very awkward first-time volley with the right foot. Well, Hans Eskilsson at one time cost £1.6 million when he went to Sporting Lisbon. And this is the kind of form they were looking for.
Young Alan Johnston's creating problem because he's getting good balls into the middle there, and we see Hibs defenders split there, and really it's a bit of slack defending, and the big centre forward really needs watching because he's trying to get himself a little yard or 2 of space inside that box, and really that was poor defending by Hibs.
Clumsy challenge there by Gary Locke into the back of Joe Tortolano. Tortolano not pleased with him there. Both players misjudged the flight of the ball. Locke perhaps more culpable. Saw one that for Tortolano. Well, he's back on his feet, Joe Tortolano. Spent some time at West Bromwich Albion there in his career before coming back here. This is Michael O'Neill. Stopped by Fulton. This is Chris Jackson. Tortolano started life on the outside left, so he's in familiar territory there. The Hibs are dangerous on these set pieces around the box, throw-ins and the like. And Gary Mackay showing his determination on Derby Day. It means a great deal to a local man like Mackay. Spent his entire career here at Tynecastle, 15 seasons. Evans back with McGinley. Good ball into Jackson. Too long perhaps for Evans. He may keep this in play though. Jackson falling all over Alan Johnston. Chris Jackson just turned 22. Young man, showing a lot of promise this season. Locke's free kick. Jackson trying to help that on, and Evans beaten as he should be by Neil Berry in the air. Very crowded area, that midfield. No room at all to breathe, Brian.
No, the one player who's finding a little bit of room is Alan Johnson. He's been given a roving commission, really can go where he wants, and he's picking up areas wide of the Hibs defence, and it's given them an opportunity to show that ability of his to run it to players, and he's had 1 or 2 interesting balls into the box, and really Hibs have got to pay just a bit more attention to him.
Gordon Hunter there complaining about the free kick given against him for his challenge in the air. Here's Johnston again, this time popping up in the left. Looking at a very good cross, attacked well inside the area by Hunter. Nameless clearance there by Tortolano. Hibs have lost their way a little in the last 5 minutes or so. And Rousset, a very clumsy clearance. Remarkable Gilles Rousset, because he played last season at Rennes and couldn't get into the side there in the French league, and seemed to have his career in a little bit of a stutter, but he's back now and made a big impression on these Hearts supporters. Chris Jackson. Probing still going on here. Bruno. Able to let that go through to Rousset. Uncompromising carry for Pasquale Bruno. Now 33 years old. 1 cap for Italy. That's Locke. Looking for movement ahead. Tweed is there ahead of Robertson. Well, outside the Hearts taking a grip in the middle of the field. Give us one forward though, allowing Millen to break. It's O'Neill and Hunter. Jackson's dropped to the wide right position here. It's McAllister, bundled over by Miller. It's almost inevitable. Good movement there from Michael O'Neill. This is promising for Hibs. Bruno's clearance asking a lot there of Miller. McAllister flights it in, and good covering play by Locke. Evans towards Tweed. Jackson setting up Tortolano for the first time cross. It's a good ball in. And John Miller had no option there. It was a very good cross from Tortolano. And merited being attacked by Hibs players in the far post. Stephen Tweed has stayed forward for Hibs. Gordon Hunter is arriving. Short corner, only one Hearts player going out to cover that. Difficult one for Evans in the turn. Well, the play going through a muted phase here as the probing and settling goes on. There's Locke now, that's captain. Number of long-serving players in the Hearts ranks. Gary Mackay, 15 years here. Neil Berry, 11 years. And Johnson, this is a boy. That's a good pass to Eskilsson, and he is flagged offside. John Robertson and Jim Latham exchanging a word or two. Eskilsson was a player who stole forward there.
Well, he does steal forward, and really it's disappointing from Hearts' point of view. You can see along the back line there, and it's always disappointing when a forward just steps into an offside position, particularly when there's a chance of creating something.
Jackson struggling here to become involved in the play. He's been playing in midfield, in the centre of midfield for Hibs much of the season, and he's been a very influential force there. Now he's got a chance to break. It's quick, he's lively. Good pass. That's McAllister. Giving it away. And Johnson trying to involve John Robertson early this time. Back here with John Miller. So throw to Hearts. John Miller joined the club from Blackburn Rovers before the total revitalisation of that club. Given away by Tweed. This is Paul Ritchie. Put under pressure by Evans. Neat play by McGinley. Darren Jackson now looking up to see the options available. The run was made by Evans. Bruno read it early. Bad clearance again by Bruno, though. Here's Pat McGinley. Trying to find Joe Tortolano, which he does too well. A very difficult pass that to Tortolano. It was hit very well across by McGinley. Well, the Hearts' recent form has that 0-0 match against Motherwell, when they certainly owed a great deal to Gilles Rousset here, the goalkeeper. Around these matches, that match they've beaten Partick Thistle and Kilmarnock, and that's eased them away from the bottom of the table. Hibs coming off a 2-0 defeat against Falkirk last week, and that's Eskilsson again. Well, he's finding some very good positions up front for Hearts. looks as though he could be an effective partner for John Robertson.
Certainly could, because here he gets up, gets a flick on. He's prepared to get up and support the attack there, and obviously it's a shoot and sight policy with him, and yeah, he certainly looks to be the part at the minute. But the disappointing thing, just a little bit from his point of view, their approach seems to be too direct, and they're not really giving their front players a proper service at the minute. And I think they've got to start calming down, start to see if they can make some by-roads down either side. Particularly Kevin McAllister's got to get the ball to his feet and go attack defenders with it.
So back with Rousset. The sparring continues here. Jim Jeffries looking on rather anxiously here. It is a bit of a chess match at the moment. Does Jackson get up well? That's Mackay. Robertson holding off Tweed. This is T. Fulton. Good movement again offered by Eskilsson. Is he on the corner? Well, he's certainly the front man causing the problems at the moment for Hibs with his movement and his direct running. Bruno arrives late in the area. Taken by Steve Fulton. Jim Leighton taken out of the play there on the goal line. Lashed in by Johnston. It looks as though Leighton simply lost his footing on the goal line there. But he certainly was right out of the game had Hearts been able to get an attempt on target. Ritchie. Stopped by O'Neill. Jackson's moved over to the right-hand side. Good running by McAllister.
One more time.
Block was made by Bruno. Now Michael O'Neill. Torklan's a very good left foot for a shot at goal. Pulled that one well wide of the target, but he normally has a very powerful dig on that left-hand side. Alec Miller is certainly the kind of manager liable to make changes, tinker with his formation as the game goes on. They're highly regarded tactically. Good challenge by Tweed. Well, the two sides have matched up in 3-5-2 formations against each other. So it needs some inventive individual play like what they have from Alan Johnston. Here he goes again. The goal kick's been given. It came off Johnston last.
It's a good bit of playing. Young Alan Jones once again gets into the box, prepared to take players on, tries to get across in there and just doesn't come to anything. But it's interesting how he picks up a little bit of space. He's prepared to go into that space. He's prepared to go at players, and at the minute he has made a real impact on the game.
Just 21 years old, Johnston. Good challenge made by Ritchie. Jim Leighton's Achilles heel, perhaps, his kicking of the ball in these situations. It's always been something of a problem for him throughout his career. Perhaps the only flaw, Billy.
Well, he's never been particularly happy with that ball come to him on the deck, but as long as he makes saves as he made earlier on, then I'm sure Hibs will be happy with him.
John Miller flights it in, and it's carefully watched there by Jim Leighton. A wrestling match going on there between Tweed and Eskilsson. The referee Kenny Clark quickly on the scene. He's going to take some action here. Older referee pulling the players over. He's going to have a word with them. He doesn't want any other interference. So a handshake there between the players. The referee Kenny Clark was the man involved when Duncan Ferguson was not ordered off, remember, in that Rangers Wraith Rovers match. So he's extremely vigilant these days. So what a warning enough for the referee.
The two lads were just having a bit of fun because none of them were ever going to get anywhere near the ball, and I think they were just trying to shake each other's hand.
Very up against Evans. So this is Gary Mackay finding Alan Johnston. Robertson on the far side. That back in towards Eskilsson. Mackay again. High tackle made by O'Neill. Well, he's certainly going towards the ball, but his studs were up There's no ill will between the players. Mackay knows, I think, O'Neill was trying to play the ball.
Yeah, I think he was. He's not that kind of player, but it looked a bit risky on the second viewing, didn't it?
Risky is fair, yes, for sure. Miller back to Mackay. Foul there by Alan Johnston and Joe Tortolano. Tortolano always winning that high ball. And Johnston trying to bundle into the back of him to put him off. It's a new aspect to his game. Johnston, a player full of touch and craft and skill. Swedes getting some abuse from the Hearts supporters. So trouble him not one iota, I'm sure. That's Gordon Hunter. Passes hard to find. Jackson made a very good run ahead. Bruno with a cross. Gives him room to turn, though. That's surprising. Michael O'Neill eased out of that by Johnston. Here's Chris Jackson. McAllister. Jackson still in the clear up front. Darren Jackson strong against Bruno. Very lively indeed in this firm surface. Ball's working hard to get it down and play some passes. Over the top it goes towards Evans. Neil Berry's the marker. Two Englishmen together. Berry from Bolton. Bolton Wanderers, that is, when he came here in 1984. And Evans from Rotherham. Here's Robertson. That's a deep turn. Grimley forced to hurry by Robertson. Good first touch by Darren Jackson. And Poulton and Darren Jackson clashed off the ball. Steve Poulton appeared to use an elbow there, but Darren Jackson quick to calm that down. Tortolano carries the ball out to throw. One or two little potential flashpoints around the stadium. Typical Derby atmosphere. Eskilsson. Here's Locke. Awkward. Deadly finish there. John Miller appearing late in the box. Jim Leighton appeared to be caught in two minds. The Hearts have taken the lead.
It's a good ball into the box from Gary Locke. Yeah, you see a little bit of hesitation from Jim Leighton, the defender, and it allows the forward to nip in there and put it. Excellent taking goal. A real predator strike there.
And I wonder there if Jim Leighton's approach put the defender off, because there was a good marking job being done in Miller, but Jim Leighton, after a superb performance so far, caught out there as he came off his line. The Hearts have the lead. Well, a vital breakthrough. Now can Hips come back. Darren Jackson's pass. Here's Steve Poulton. The noise coming now for the Hearts supporters. Good tackle by Hunter. This is Poulton. Tortolano trying to pick out Evans over on the far side. Bruno cruises across the challenge. He's held up by Bruno. Good running there by O'Neill. And the block was made by Rousset. The corner kick to Hibbs. Well, Michael O'Neill losing part of his number there, but Rousset did well with the block. Hibbs come back quickly. Tweed helps it on. The Hearts work the ball clear. Robertson and Milne clash. Andy Milne in trouble, I think. Referee Kenny Clark goes across, and the yellow card is shown to Milne.
Well, there's a little bit impetuous here. He's not any real chance of getting the ball, and I think the referee was right. But sometimes you've just got to stand up, allow the forward to take control. He's not going anywhere. Force him to play that ball back.
For the frustration creeping in, perhaps, for Andy Milne. Back after a long layoff. 7 weeks he's been out. Bruno's free kick. Hibbs had the better of Derby matches last season, winning 3 out of 4 in the league. A draw so far this season. A last minute equaliser by John Robertson 7 weeks ago. Back here with Gary Mackay. Robertson comes off his marker again. He's fouled by Tweed. Well, Hearts have the bit between the teeth now. They're ready to continue this attacking bombardment on Hibs. Terrific vocal backing now coming from the Hearts supporters. Steve Fulton could bend this with his left foot. That's why the wall is there in such numbers. They respect Fulton's power. The lock takes it. Now it comes to Mackay. This can be retrieved by Johnston. That's great play by Alan Johnston. Alan Jackson had to come back and help his defence. Hibs going through the middle at the moment. Johnston a constant threat. Michael Neal trying to go forward. That's good plays away from Fulton. Now looking for support. Andy Millen has broken the far side, the sweeper. That's good play coming on the back. Giving O'Neill that option. Now he's right out of position as Hearts break. Paul Ritchie. Eskilsson trying to match Hunter's pace, and Hunter did just enough. Gimli did well, holding off Mackay. That's Chris Jackson. Unable to pick out an accurate pass forward. The service really good. Hibs front two hasn't been good enough, Billy.
No, and I think a lot of credit has got to go to that central defence of Hearts there. They've been very solid. After that start, I felt Bruno started very casually, but since then, I think the booking has probably helped. It's made them more positive, and they've been very strong through that middle. And they're making life very difficult for Hibs to get passes into the front players.
Well, here's O'Neill. He usually provides a creative spark for Hibs, but he's finding it very difficult this afternoon. Foul by O'Neill on Fulton. Going in late after losing possession. Complaining to his front men, but a lack of movement, I think.
He's got a little bit of a point there. They're accepting the fact that they've been tightly marked, and I think they've got to have a look at the Hearts front two, Eskilsson and Robertson. They're coming off their mark, and they're giving their midfield players and their back players the opportunity to play that ball into the feet.
Good challenge there by Hunter. Gordon Hunter has played in 56 derby before today. He's only been on the winning side 5 times. Shows the dominance Hearts have had in recent years. Bruno playing it long again, leaving Eskilsson. Millen won it. It's time for McGinn. McAllister. O'Neill took out a good position there on the angle to receive the pass. Tortolano faced by Locke. Hibs want to see O'Neill in possession as much as possible. And dummy there by Evans didn't come off. Johnston again. That roving commission from midfield. Well, what's the answer to that, Billy? Do you put a man on him, or do you just pass him on as he moves around?
I think it would be impossible to ask him to be tight. Well, what you've got to do is you've got to say to your midfield, you've got to say, look, whatever this lad is, if he's in your area, make sure he's not getting too much possession. Make sure he's not getting the right to turn and have a go at your defenders. But we find it difficult. But one of the big differences in the game is the fact that Hearts front two seem more lively, they seem more adept at coming off their markers, and they're getting balls into feet, so they're able to keep possession that little bit longer.
Strong work there by John Robertson to keep possession of Hearts, but Chris Jackson showing his determination. Here's O'Neill again. Millen has gone forward from the back. Jackson peeling off to the right this time. Darren Jackson. Forced to come inside. He's certainly offered plenty of movement for Hibs. Bruno's headed clearance. Across it comes to Tortolano. No way past Locke. There was no question of obstruction either in the eyes of the referee. Jackson, Chris Jackson, very quick indeed to retrieve that. It was meant for Stephen Tweed, I think, the pass from Millen. Now Hunter. Darren Jackson doing just what Willie McNeil said, coming off his marker. That's good linking play by Hunter. Bruno falling over with just enough there to get the ball away. Here's McAllister. This is where he's dangerous, racing into the box. He's in the corner. Bruno stood up well to him there, kept his eye on the ball. Well, enjoying Scottish football, Bruno.
This is exactly what Hibs need. They need likes of Kevin Carlson to go at defenders and try and disturb that solid block that Hearts have had.
O'Neill, it's helped on there by Evans, just behind McGinley. Well, Hibs right out of luck there. Pat McGinley too close to the goal there when the ball was flicked on. Almost silence inside the stadium when that chance arose. Hibs fans hopelessly outnumbered. They're all around the field behind Jim Leighton. Here's Jackson doing some defensive work here. Well taken down by Tortolano. Millen. Good movement offered by Evans. Hunter now has O'Neill. Seeing much more of the ball now, Michael O'Neill. This is certainly promising for Hibs. That's ambitious. The deflection troublesome though. Came off Neil Berry. Sure said to change direction there, but the shot was so far out. He had time to adjust.
Well, Michael O'Neill has certainly made an impact in the game towards the latter stage of it. Then a deflection like that's always dangerous, and I think that sometimes to beat a retreating defence, you've got to be prepared to knock those strikes from outside the box.
Headed on by Darren Jackson. Here's Evans and Tortolano. O'Neill again. Well, Hearts will have to think about getting closer to him. Here he goes again. The playmaker for Hibs. Quiet start of the match, but now he's very much involved. Bruno did well again with the clearance. Here's Poulton. Good ball through for Robertson. It's 1-on-1 the goalkeeper. A chance for the second. And Leighton saves the day for Hibs. John Robertson, the record goal scorer in Edinburgh derbies, failing with the best chance of all. And that may well make such a difference for this match. Had Hearts gone two up there, Billy, they could have been in the clear.
Yes, well done to Jim Leighton. But look at the magnificent pass from Steve Fulton. The pace is brilliant, eliminates the defenders. And really, John Robertson doesn't do enough to score there, because Jim Leighton stands up, gives him a big blockage, but really John doesn't do enough to score. He's got to take it around the goalkeeper, he's got to widen his angle just a little bit so it makes it easier for him, but that was a real chance missed.
Well, there was any question mark about Jim Leighton for Hearts' goal. He certainly made amends there. Eskilsson picking that on. Tweed working very hard to avoid any mistakes there. There's Alan Johnston. Tackled by Chris Jackson. Well, coming up later this afternoon, Premiership action from Loftus Road. Queen's Park Rangers against Coventry City coming up later. Johnston and Jackson, the wrestling match. Jackson is penalised. There's the young man who's trying to establish himself on the Hibs side. Good long run this season. Lock with his free kick. Paul Ritchie calling for the ball in the area. Good outswinger. John Miller's header. They were so adept at that. Very good in the air indeed. The late stages, fiercely fought first half. First blood to Hearts. Is that justified, you think, Billy, in the first half performance?
I would have thought so. That I felt they'd been a bit more positive and certainly a bit more creative. And really, if you analyse it, Jim Leighton's had some good saves that really have kept his team in it. But no, I think that Hearts are well merited the lead at this minute.
And they have a corner kick here in the closing stages of the first half. An opportunity once again as referee Clark checks his watch. Jim Leighton prepares to do some defending. for Richie looking for a chance to open his account for his club. So here's Steve Fulton, who's very good with his left foot, whipping in swinging corner kicks. Headed down by Eskilsson, saved by Leighton. Well, before that happened, Leighton and John Roberts had a little bit of a pushing match.
That's right, but Jim Leighton does the right thing. He's tempted to comfort it there, but he knows he's not going to get it, so he stays back on his line, comfortably saves the ball. But again, just a little indication of Eskilsson's threat.
So more of a goal threat, clearly, from Hearts in this match so far. Gio Rousset apologises there for the poor quality of his clearance. Hasn't been called upon too often in this match.
He's had one save to make in the game, and he made it from Michael O'Neill. He stood up well, didn't allow himself to get drawn too much to that near post and blocked the shot, but certainly his defenders have made it a comfortable afternoon for him so far.
That's McAllister's cross. And half-time whistle goes with Hearts in the lead. It was a splendid opportunist goal scored by John Miller. Jim Leighton may have been caught out a little bit by that one, but otherwise had a splendid first-half performance. Indeed, it was crucial, the save he made just before half-time from John Roberts. Half-time, Hearts 1, Hibs 0.
This December, enjoy the biggest and the best in live sporting events. From Rugby League, as London clash with champions Wigan, to big-time boxing. England's tour of South Africa, Rugby Union, the World Darts Championship, Scottish football, international football, Christmas specials including How the Ryder Cup was won, and Merry Christmas, Frank Bruno. Plus a great lineup of Premiership action from the home of football, Sky Sports.
There's no turning back.
Did you see that? Come on, pull over.
All right. All right.
On an ocean of sorrow, true love never dies. Inside the pocket of a clown.
Turn on to CMT on the hour, every hour, and you could win a holiday to America.
He was born just another kid in New York.
It's clean! Miller Pilsner!
But he was destined to change the way beer was advertised forever.
It's Alice Cooper!
He's the man with the Miller instinct. He's the man with the can of Miller. Coming soon to a TV near you. It's Miller time.
Every 40 seconds, an adult is struck down by a life-threatening illness. But over 50% survive. If you had a heart attack, a stroke or cancer, the last thing you'd want is financial worries. With critical illness cover from Abbey Life, you would receive a cash payment, which could be enough to help you back on your feet, or even pay off the mortgage. For details of critical illness cover from Abbey Life, call 0800 43 44 45 now.
Live at the Palladium. Mike Reid like you've never seen him before.
Frobbo!
Mike Reid on video now. Certificate 18.
Super Trinitron wide. Be careful what you watch.
Want to travel to the United States? See superstar Garth Brooks live in concert? Well, you can get there by watching country music television, any hour, on the hour. Turn on to CMT, the spirit of America.
Welcome back. Loftus Road, that's where we are this afternoon with Super Sunday. Queen's Park Rangers against Coventry City coming up. Our live game, first up this afternoon, comes from Tynecastle. The Edinburgh derby, Hearts against Hibs, 1-0 at half-time to Hearts. John Miller's goal separating the teams. And they've had the better of it as well. Hibs with just one on-target effort, that from Michael O'Neill. Hearts have forced the pace. One booking each. Pasquale Bruno inside the opening 5 minutes. And the possession right down the middle. Andy, you admired the finish of Miller's for the opening goal, didn't you?
Yes, it was a great finish. It was a difficult ball to deal with because it bounced about just about a yard in front of him. But this has been a problem for Hibs. This right-hand side, particularly Gary Locke, he's produced 3 really good balls in there. Now that looks a simple finish, but in all honesty, it isn't, Richard. He almost uses the sole of his boot here. Gets a slight deflection, I think, there, which spirals it. Bounces just in front of him. And you don't put anything on it. You've just got to put your foot there, try and make good contact with it. And it's exactly what Miller did. It was in a terrible area for Jim Leighton to deal with. Do a come, do a stay. Horrible decision for a goalkeeper. He ended up a little bit doing neither. And
a shame for Leighton, because up until that moment, he'd done really well, hadn't he?
He's the only reason that Hibs are still in this game. 2 great saves. And again, coming from the right-hand side. Crosses from the right have troubled him. I think that's in now, but somehow Jim gets round to it. He almost pulls it from behind him. And this is the pass of the match from Fulton. Steve Fulton puts a great ball in here. Now, he doesn't do enough here. I mean, he goes a little bit too straight at Jim Leighton. I thought he should have taken it on a little bit of an angle just to upset the goalkeeper's angle. But Jim does well. You always say it's a battle of wits there. The goalkeeper's got to stand big as long as he can. Jim Leighton stood big. He said to John Robinson, go on then, you make the decision. John really didn't make one.
Of course, Jim Leighton had that unhappy spell. That's unfair. The end of his career at Manchester United finished unhappily. He's been away and rebuilt his career, and almost looks as though he's never been away.
Well, goalkeepers, you see, because they're not asked to do an awful lot physically, sorry, Jim, but, you know, they're not running about for 90 minutes. They can concentrate, and if they're fit and agile, as Jim certainly has showed this afternoon that he is, they can go on and play for a long time. And I think it was a little bit premature of everyone to write Jim Leighton off when he left Manchester United.
But it must have been a crushing blow what happened to him.
He was mentally,
he's come back, hasn't he?
He was mentally scarred, deeply mentally scarred, Richard. And it took him a long time to come to terms with it. Goalkeeping is all about confidence. It's all about being confident. Jim Leighton, when he left Manchester United, had absolutely none. He was as rock bottom as you could be as a goalkeeper. And I think it shows great courage that he's come back himself and is now playing as well as he is.
And he's kept Hearts at bay for the most part this afternoon. 1-0 to Hearts. And we've been picking up 1 or 2 interesting vantage points around Tynecastle this afternoon. How about that for those 2 young ladies? Hearts are in the pole seat at the moment. Can Hibs find a way back?
Thursday, the screen's biggest star returns to Sky.
Beethoven.
Peace and quiet is about to become a thing of the past. Because this time he's brought the whole family.
No, 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 no.
And he's up to his pores in trouble.
5 St. Bernards? I mean, it's beyond trouble.
Don't miss the cutest puppies you'll ever see. Premiering 8 o'clock Thursday, Beethoven's Second, only on Sky Movies.
Shine 3. 20 dazzling new indie hits. Things could be more with Oasis, Supergrass, Lightning Seeds, Sleeper, and Echo Belly. Plus, pulp, blur, menswear and cast. Shine 3, out now on CD and cassette.
This is the Australian Institute of Sport. Everything here is dedicated to the development of world-class athletes, even their diet. So, together with Kellogg's, they created Sustain, the first cereal designed to help meet athletes' nutritional needs as part of their balanced diet. Delicious multigrain flakes, sultanas, apple and almonds. Sustain, designed for an athlete's body, good for everybody. New Kellogg's Sustain.
The amount of heat you lose through your windows is no laughing matter. Ordinary double glazing can help, but now there's Pilkington K-Glass with a special clear coating that reduces heating bills by reflecting heat back into the room. For your free brochure and list of key installers, phone 0800 556 6000. Comfort begins with K.
Ericsson get over 20 million people in 70 countries talking every day. Ericsson, mobile phones.
I'll stand by you. I'll stand by you. Won't let nobody hurt you. Oh, Victoria! I'll stand by you.
Keanu Reeves, A Walk in the Clouds.
Steve Collins, the Celtic Warrior, is back in action next Saturday.
Steve Collins has got it.
This is the man who beat Eubank not once but twice. Now the WBO World Super Middleweight Champion defends his title on his home turf of Dublin against England's Cornelius Carr. But can the young, sharp Carr match the awkward style and intense work rate of the champion? Next Saturday, a drop of the hard stuff. Live and exclusive on Sky Sports, Steve Collins versus Cornelius Carr.
Welcome back, straight back to Tynecastle. Billy McNeil and Jock Brown commentators.
We're all set to go here for the second half at Tynecastle. No change in either lineup. Hearts have Alan Lawrence, John Cahoon and Brian Hamilton on the bench. Hibs, on the other hand, have Darren Dodds, Michael Weir, and the manager's son, Greg Miller, is on the bench. Very prolific goal scorer in the reserve side. Here's Joe Tortolano playing it inside, and Michael O'Neill becomes involved straight away again. Tackle came from Fulton. That's good play again from O'Neill. Well, he certainly looked Hibs' best hope towards the end of that first half. Jackson tackled there by Berry. There's trouble here for Berry. And referee Clark takes a firm line again. It's a booking for Neil Berry. And damage inflicted on Darren Jackson.
He's a bit late going in for that challenge there. There didn't seem to be an awful lot of malice in it, but I suppose the referee is probably right to book him.
One of these situations when he got there as quickly as he could, I think.
I think the 1 or 2 years of playing at this level, the pace is maybe gone out of Neil. I think it's just a reminder to Darren Jackson that he's playing the game.
Mind you, puts Hearts under some pressure. That's Neil Berry and Pasquale Bruno, both carrying yellow cards. Eskilsson back defending. Retrieving work done here by Kevin McAllister. Explaining himself to his teammates. Not too happy, I don't think. It will be interesting to see if Hearts are going to take any action about the freedom enjoyed by Michael O'Neill late in the first half. Here he is again. Similarly, I wonder if Hibs have any plans for Alan Johnston. Here's Jackson against Berry once again. Sure to take him on in this position. And bite another tackle from Berry. That's O'Neill. Looking for Jackson again. Pushing into the back of Gary Locke. The free kick goes to Hearts. And a rueful smile from Darren Jackson. Now the proud possessor of 10 Scotland caps.
Just a little bit of purchase here, because they might just have got something out of that, but just taking all pressure off Hearts by giving away a foul like that.
Robertson against Millen. No infringement, says the referee. Here's Michael O'Neill again. Evans offering movement rather late. Paul Ritchie's done a very good marking job, the young 20-year-old. The foul by Evans on Ritchie. Well, what's your view on Paul Ritchie, Billy?
I hadn't seen a lot of him really until this season. I think he's performed very well. He's been very positive, very assured, and certainly looks to be a find for Hearts.
And replacing Dave McPherson is injured in central defence. That's played in by Fulton and won by Millen. Here's Fulton again. Played that glorious pass for John Robertson in the first half. Here's Alan Johnston. Is he on the corner? No, he's offside. Frustration there for Johnston. Well, the worry of Alan Johnson has always been really, he just hasn't got that electric burst of pace. Do you think he can still make it at the top level with his ability?
Well, I certainly think so, because he's got that ability to control the ball instantly, and he also leaves people for dead. He's got a nice little dummy when he's running with the ball, and he leaves players for dead. And I think in and around that box, I think he'll be very positive, and yeah, I've been very impressed with him.
Jim Jeff is arguing with the linesman over there about that decision. Can't see how he had as good a view as the linesman. Paul Ritchie penalised, climbing the shoulders of Gareth Evans. Played in by O'Neill. Aruse, a commanding figure there to win that. Food and drink to the big keeper, that kind of ball.
It's unlikely you're going to beat someone of his height and really his ability with that type of thing, and it's far too near. That type of ball was always going to be far too near the goalkeeper.
Ritchie winning that one cleanly. O'Neill tackled well by Mackay. Here's Eskilsson trying to release John Robertson. It's good play by Hunter. Patton again takes responsibility in midfield, and O'Neill again finds space. Good change of pace to get away from Mackay. Excellent tackle by John Miller. Robertson again coming off his marker. The run on the far side made by Alan Johnston. That's for Eskilsson. It's a good ball. Well, the worst is going to get there with a corner kick. Came off Andy Millen. So there has been again some excellent movement up front. Roberts initially on Eskilsson, and Alan Johnston also.
I think young Alan Johnson was just a little bit disappointed that Eskilsson didn't give him the ball back there, because he made good position to get a return pass from him, but certainly was a good bit of positional play from him initially.
Fulton's corner is a good one. Tweed with Eskilsson. That should go, I think, for a goal kick. Indeed it does. Stephen Tweed doing the marking job on Hans Eskilsson, a B international already on Tweed. Hans Eskilsson, also international player, 8 caps. Here's Locke for Hearts. No movement that time into that area of the field. Andy Millen left with time to make the clearance. Eskilsson's header. Time here for Chris Jackson. Hunter has McAllister free outside him. Well, this is where Hibs need some movement ahead. Evans has gone to the right. Jackson inside left position. Here's Chris Jackson. Good running. Chris Jackson going all the way himself. It's a great goal by Jackson. The equaliser for Hibs. Chris Jackson's first goal of the season. And a magnificent piece of play.
It's a real powerful piece of forward running, and again, the way to beat a retreating defence like that is to have a strike, and it was a good strike. And really, the goalkeeper has no chance because he's unsighted initially. By the time the ball gets anywhere near him, it's going past him. And all credit to young Chris Jackson, because he made a long positive run right from just inside the halfway line and got the result that he wanted, got the produce that he needed.
Well, first goal for Hibs for Chris Jackson, and what a day to do it. Well, that could have a galvanising effect on Hibs. They've started the second half very impressively. Michael O'Neill, so influential in midfield. Here's Darren Jackson. Used the decoy by Chris Jackson for that goal. Well, the young man will be feeling 10 feet tall.
Yeah, he shrugged off the initial challenge. Look, he knows exactly what he's after and hits a real good strike. And that bounce just before the goalkeeper was always going to cause him problems.
And a corner kick to Hearts at the other end.
Hearts nearly sprung back the best possible way there. That it's a chance inside the box. Awkward one for Jim Leighton to deal with, but dealt with it comfortably.
Corner kick from Fulton. Broke off top corner, appeals to handball. Certainly couldn't have been intentional. That's good play by Neil Getty. Calmly inside to Mackay. This sets up the Edinburgh derby. Neither side happy to get other than 3 points from this for various reasons. Hibs trying to maintain their challenge at the top. Hearts trying to get away from that danger area. Clear foul there. Hunter on Johnston. He's going to be booked for that. Yellow card for Gordon Hunter.
It's a real bit of skill from young Alan Johnston. I think it was the impetus of the attempted challenge there that got him in trouble. But oh, lovely bit of play by young Johnson.
Here's Steve Fulton now with this free kick. John Miller's a big threat. Very good near. Stephen Tweed did well. Poor clearance attempt by O'Neill. Lock. Penalty kick's given. Foul by Millen. Oh, I don't think Gary Locke would have cut the ball before the byline, but the penalty kick has been given.
You'll always get a result if you go and attack defenders like that. And really, he's taking the ball past him, and I don't think Andy Mills got enough thought to complain about it because he's wrong-footed him. He slid in when the ball's going behind him, and I think the referee's right.
Well, I must confess, Lucas Stonewaller, very rash tackle by an experienced defender in Andy Millen. Kenny Clark had no doubt, and John Robertson now has the chance to continue his 100% record from a spot this season. He scored twice in 2 attempts, total of 6 for the season, and this would be his 24th derby goal, and that is a record. He already holds the record with 23. So Robertson against Leighton, international teammates. Here comes Robertson. No answer to that. The power was too much for Leighton. And a bit of trouble there. 1 or 2 spectators on the field, immediately removed by the police.
Yeah, it's a well-struck penalty kick. He was very composed, very assured, and really it gave Jim Leighton no chance. Jim tried to upset him, obviously, but always had the composure, and a good strike like that will always beat the goalkeeper.
Well, terrific record there for John Robertson. Goal number 7 this season, but 24 in Edinburgh derbies. Well, the Hearts fans have come to life again. Well, 2-1 to Hearts, but lots of action still to come, and Hibs by no means out of this, I reckon. Jim Layton getting that long before Robertson. Here's Andy Millen, who gave away that penalty kick. He'll be very unhappy about that. Steve Fulton at full stretch. Rousset doesn't attempt a pick-up there. Played it against Ritchie. He's gone for the throw, but he was clearly worried about the pass-back rule. Now Mike O'Neill. It's a good ball in, won comfortably inside the area by Bruno. That's a lot. Chase on here, Jackson getting back on Alan Johnston. That's towards Eskilsson, a great dummy by Robertson. And Stephen Tweed stood up well to that, forcing Eskilsson wide. McAllister brings it clear. Clearly there by Fulton. Very important defending there by Stephen Tweed. The dummy from John Robertson almost released.
It was indeed. That's that challenge by Fulton, but that was a good positive move. And again, young Alan Johnson had a good run on the right-hand side, good ball into middle, a little bit of good play. I think Eskilsson was taken just a little bit by surprise when he should have been thinking that maybe something would happen inside the forward area.
Supporters now coming to life. They believe a derby victory is on. Well, in the last match, John Robertson scored in the last minute to equalise it 2-2. So Hibs have to come from behind again. This time, that's towards McAllister. John Miller was the marker. Well, some half-hearted appeals from the Hibs players for a foul on McAllister inside the area.
Yeah, I don't think there's any reason to be thinking there should have been a penalty there, and a little bit of desperation.
Well, the Hibs substitutes have appeared behind Gilles Rousset to warm up. This time a free kick to Hibs. Tweed well forward. That's McGinley. Now O'Neill. Good footwork, but running into a crowd of Hearts players. One of them now is Johnston breaking. Left Chris Jackson for dead. Looking for John Robertson. And Gordon Hunter judged that well. Caught Robertson's boot with his hand there. Good play. Here's John Miller. Eskilsson just missed. Well, Layton surely we were helpless had Eskilsson made contact. Great piece of play involving Robertson and Miller.
It was a very tempting ball. Good ball in from John Miller here, and you see the good run from Eskilsson right across the face of the defender. Just didn't make the proper time and just didn't get his head to it, but nevertheless a real opportunity.
Andy Millen again, I fancy relieved there because he allowed Eskilsson to go across the bows, and that chance, it's Gary Locke holding off Chris Jackson. Chris Jackson again. O'Neill fouled clearly there by Locke. Chris Jackson continues. Darren Jackson's link-up play. Oh, what a day for Chris Jackson to score his first goal for the club. Giving them a chance here. Still trailing though by 2-1. Andy Millen. Bad return pass from McGinley. Tweed picking out Millen, who's pushed forward again. Here's O'Neill. Eskilsson using his strength there. He was pulled off the ball by O'Neill.
No, he's worked hard, Eskilsson. He's worked hard to get himself. He's made life difficult. He gets in front of Michael O'Neill there, and undoubtedly he's pulled off the ball. But he's certainly worked very hard today.
Well, the Hearts building on that confidence booster provided by John Robertson's penalty. Stopped well this time by Millen. It's overhit by Millen. Some of the passing, Gary Evans looks back in frustration. Some of the passing really hasn't been a good enough quality from the back from Hibs. The Header by Robertson is missed. Contact to McAllister. This is Millen. McAllister again. O'Neill demands the ball inside. Stephen Tweed showing that he's very comfortable in possession. He's eased out of that though by Alan Johnston. Combining well with Locke. Two of the young men brought through the ranks here at Tynecastle. Eskilsson and Millen clash there, but the referee's an eye on that as play continues, and Ritchie made a very good clearance, fouled by McGinley in the process.
Yeah. You know, Eskilsson's just a little bit lucky there because he's late coming into that challenge, but possibly the referee's attention was taken elsewhere.
Arms flying there on the part of John Miller. That, I think, will be a free kick to Hibs. No, the referee says continue the throw because he must have judged that totally accidental, but that really was a flying elbow, and the referee couldn't have been closer.
Yeah, I think John Miller's just a little bit lucky, you know, and I know the fans are getting a bit irate, but there was a fair bit of connection there, and you can see the damage that it's done to Kevin McAllister. And I've got to be honest and say that really I think anybody that throws an elbow about carelessly on the football pitch is entitled to be booked.
And there's blood coming from a wound there on McAllister's head. And of course, with the one intention going out of the rule book as far as foul conduct is concerned, Billy, that surely should have been a free kick.
Well, I can't see other than that, and I think John Miller's possibly lucky not to have his name in the book. I mean, he clearly uses his elbow there. There's no doubt whatsoever that he knew what he was doing.
Well, it's careless, it was reckless at least, and a very lucky man, referee Kenny Clark, was content to allow the match to continue with a throw-in.
Yeah, I think sometimes, you know, a referee's judgment, he wants the game to flow, and I don't suppose that he can possibly blow for every misdemeanor, and sometimes it's maybe better just to let the game flow, but in this occasion I think he's wrong.
And John Miller certainly not the kind of player guilty of that kind of conduct. Here's Alec Miller looking on. He'll have some thoughts perhaps about how he may want to reorganise a little. Jim Jeffries entitled to be contented. He's come back from losing that good goal to Chris Jackson to get back in the lead. Stuart Colley's a physio, but Kevin McAllister is clearly in some trouble here. Well, look at the damage. Now, that's what our elbow can do, and that was by no means a particularly bad example.
No, it was reckless. It certainly was a reckless use, but certainly a very potent weapon, your elbow, and really you can see the damage there. But I think John Miller will probably consider himself that bit lucky.
Well, watch this. It'll restart with a throw. No worse than that. So now Tweed. The left centre-back role. Tortolano ahead of him. Wanted too long on the ball. Locke denying him any extra time. Darren Jackson trying to link here with Evans. Is the lean time of it, and Pasquale Bruno brought him down. It's a free kick. Evans irate. Bruno's been booked already, right inside of opening 2 minutes.
Yeah, and you know, again, he's living dangerously there. He's trying to make as little of it as possible, but he certainly wasn't letting Gareth Edwards go past him.
Played in there by Tortolano. Eskilsson back doing a good job in defence. He certainly earned his corner this afternoon. Clearance by Bruno. That's Chris Jackson. McAllister. Good running by Tortolano. He's in behind Locke. Well, the Hibs supporters very upset behind the goal. Thought that a hand was used by Locke. That's a good pass. Robertson to Johnston. Look at the slide of foot there, and Eskilsson has made a good run to the right. Good tackle by Millen. Stood up well to that. Awkward for Chris Jackson. Leighton comes to make his impact. Now Miller unable to turn quickly. Leighton was well up his line there. Johnston. Away from that sizzling tackle from Tortolano. Good running by Gary Locke. He's very elusive in that position. Stephen Tweed standing up well against Sean Robertson. Good play by Locke. Midfield player playing well on the right-hand side at the moment.
Looks very comfortable on the ball. Here we see him attacking the ball, getting into a good position. Might well have chosen to look for Alan Johnson there, who's drawn everything, but played the ball in, but certainly has had a very good game.
Short corner kick. Only one Hibs player going out. Hidden now by Fulton. Cleared by McGinley. Hibs now clearing the box. Gary Mackay, time to look up, assess the options. One of them was Gary Locke in space. Oh, Chris Jackson did well there, pushing Locke outside him, closing off the angle rapidly. Intelligent, mature defending this.
It's good positive play from Hearts. They switch the play when there's nothing good down that side, and good defending. He stands up well, but Locke's a handful in those positions, isn't he?
Evans did well, just getting up a fraction ahead of Berry. It's Darren Jackson's pass, but it was well read by Bruno, who covers in behind Neil Berry. Well, attempts and goal tally going Hearts' way by 12-7. And the accuracy just about 50% for Hearts. This is O'Neill. Evans with a layoff for Hunter. Evans staying wide on the right-hand side. Under pressure as he came inside. That's good play by Johnston. Here's John Miller. Well, Luke is always the road out of Tynecastle earlier in the season. Jim Jeffrey's reign, but he's come back with a bang. Misunderstanding there with a pass. The movement from Johnston arrived too late. No challenge there for Ritchie for the headed clearance. Good work again. And a high challenge there. Chris Jackson involved in that hefty collision. Referee will attention here. Gary Mackay.
There's certainly no drawing back anyway, and I don't think he really made connection. Really, it's the impact on the ground that's caused the problem for Gary Mackay. But certainly was a fierce challenge.
No quarter asked or given. Here's young Chris Jackson. Well, he'll remember this day for a long time, scoring his first goal for the club, but he would be very happy, I'm sure, if it was part of other than defeat.
Yeah, I think that, Hibs obviously came out really charged up for the second half, and getting that goal back was tremendous for them. At that stage, things looked well, but they lost the goal too early again, and really the impetus has gone Hearts' way again.
That's Auckland. Well handled by Gordon Hunter. That's good play by Fulton. Excellent slide of foot. The pass reaches Robertson. Here's Fulton again. Support on the left from Miller. There's a great chance for Hearts. And the challenge was made by Hunter, the vital one. Right in front of Eskilsson. But Hibs carved wide open there on the left-hand side. They had a problem on the right in the first half, but now John Miller has posed a few problems on the left-hand side, and Hibs have to come again. Gordon Hunter made a vital interception there. This is O'Neill. Tortolano calling for the ball on the near side. Jackson, that's good play. Advantage rule applied. The referee's had a word with Gary Mackay in the passing. Here's Hunter again. O'Neill. Looking for Tortolano. Awkward there for Gary Locke, did the marking job. Great challenge there by Darren Jackson and Gio Rousset, who makes light of it. Free kick's been given to Hearts.
Yeah, the goalkeeper does very well because he's alert, sharp, comes out ahead of things, and really Darren Jackson is maybe a couple of seconds late there. But all credit to the goalkeeper. He wasn't prepared to be second best.
He also made light of the challenge, to his credit. McAllister. Again, there's a return pass, and Hibs would like to see Kevin McAllister make runs on this flank. Checked up by John Miller. Bruno's in the way. O'Neill. Back with Michael O'Neill. Chris Jackson's pass, a dummy by McGinley, but Paul Ritchie was alive to that. That's Hunter's pass. Here's Evans. Good support play again from Hunter. And a very good cross. Rousset using his full 6'5" frame to get that over.
It was a real tremendous cross, drawn right back from that byline there, but the goalkeeper was always up to that one and was never going to let that get across the goals, or indeed maybe even trouble him a bit further.
The willingness shown there by Hibs to get players forward. Gordon Hunter, marking defender, attacking on the right-hand side. He stayed in the box for the corner. Taken by McAllister. Lucy's in trouble. The overhead effort was by Stephen Tweed. Lots of Hearts players inside the 6-yard box. Quick corner kick. O'Neill against Mackay. Swept away by Johnston. Here's Chris Jackson. McAllister wanting the ball played quickly to him on the left-hand side. There's Evans. Well tackled by Ritchie. Determined play by Hearts. And Eskilsson is 1-on-1 in the break. Robertson to his left. Whoa, what a let-off for Hibs. Hans Eskilsson telling John Robertson he couldn't see him. He was square from him on the left. Totally unmarked.
Tremendous opportunity, but I'll be honest, I don't think he really realised that John Robertson was there and he had one thing in his mind. He wanted to hit the target. He wanted to score in this derby match, and sometimes you can never fall into that.
There's Evans and Gordon Hunter coming in. John Miller was caught out there. Gordon Hunter so frustrated. Came a long way to the end of that cross. Look at his face.
I think John Miller's taken by surprise. I don't think he believes that anybody's behind him, and really Gordon Hunter really should be hitting the target there, because he's made a tremendous run to get up there, and it was a real opportunity to get one in the back of the net.
So, substitution's been made by Hibs. Darren Jackson's been withdrawn. Mickey Weir comes on. And he's going to play through the middle, I think, beside Gareth Evans. Well, that's a very interesting switch. Well, Michael Weir's been out of the picture for some time. Troubled by injury. And now has the chance to link up with Evans. So it's a point-size attack for Hibs now.
I think they want to get the ball down and play. They'll be hoping that Mickey Weir can get that ball on the deck and maybe trouble the centre of that Hearts defence, because they haven't had a lot of success in doing that throughout the game. And it may well be that difference in attack now, the point of attack is going to come from a different direction.
Delano's cross, high cross, is not likely to cause much damage, but here's Gordon Hunter. Evans did well with a turn. Rousset full stretch again. Stephen Tweed coming in behind him. The goalkeeper's taking a bang on the thigh, I think. The referee insisting that he continues.
It's a good ball into the box, but the height of the goalkeeper was tremendous. He kept his eyes on it. He was never going to allow that to beat him, and took it very comfortably. And it's important at this stage of the game for the goalkeeper to come and take those crosses as comfortably as that.
Eskilsson did well again. He's a target for Coulton's pass. Tweed getting up there to win it. Well, a real physical challenge. Michael losing out to Coulton. Tweed stood up well again. Here's Coulton once more. Crucial phase in the play. Here's John Miller with Johnston outside him. That's a great ball by Johnston. Completely deliberate, looking for a far top corner. That was a stroke of genius. Lovely imagination there, knew exactly what he wanted, gets the bend on it, and he's only fractionally away from scoring a magnificent effort there. It's got Jim Leighton beaten to the heavens. Well, that would surely have won the match for Hearts. Alan Johnson, remarkably, hasn't scored this season. Headed on by Locke. Well, it's very tense indeed here. Millen into space for Jackson. McGinley trying to become more involved in the play now. Millen flights it in, looking for Hunter as well forward again. Well, Hibs throwing their marking defenders, Hunter and Tweed, forward at every opportunity now. So a change also being made by Hearts. Off comes John Robertson. Just listen to the applause for Robertson. Still urging on his teammates. He may have scored the winner in this match. And he's replaced by John Cahoon. Another local favourite. So Cahoon joins Heskelson through the middle. Has been penalised for his challenge on Miller. Free kick to Hearts. Desperately looking for the goal. No, it's a throw he's given. There's the change. Cahoon for Robertson. Hunter did well. He was fouled by Cahoon. Well, Cahoon, an international player, as was Robertson, who's gone off, although that international involvement Cahoon was some years ago. Since when he's been to Sunderland and Millwall. Free kick given here, a tangle of legs over there, Evans and Berry. The referee's right into the heart of that. Now Neil Berry's been booked already. If he's spoken to, he'll have to go off. The referee, Kenny Clark, is having a word with him. Well, here's what was the problem. The studs used there by Evans.
I think that was a gesture more than anything else, but it's silly at this stage, and it really can cause problems, particularly in a game like this.
Bruno's free kick, straight to the head of Tweed. Evans and Berry together again. Chris Jackson trying to find a way through. That's Locke. He wins the throw off Tortolano. Well, Hibs trying to step up their efforts to save the match. Hearts looking for the goal, which would surely settle it. They have a free kick, followed by Tortolano and Johnston. Gary Locke with a free kick. Pitching it in well, a good header there by Ritchie. He found space inside the area, but there was a bit of pushing. Free kick goes to Hibs.
Probably just a little bit of shoving before the ball arrived in the middle there. He got a good positive header in there, but Jim Layton was right up to that mark.
Ritchie again, endearing himself to Hearts supporters. McAllister. Forced inside by Miller. Now going on the outside. That's Millen. Tackled well by Mackay. It's given away by Miller to Gordon Hunter. Here's Jackson. Evans. Trying to get away from Ritchie. Good defending by Paul Ritchie. Evans looks frustrated, but this young man looks to be a very fine defender.
Very composed defender. Takes a little chance there. He maybe edges Gary Evans off the ball, but that's what happens in the game, and he's only using his physical strength here. But he certainly had a nice, composed game today.
And coming up, 4 o'clock kickoff, Queen's Park Rangers against Coventry City from Loftus Road. Don't miss that. That's McGinley playing it long through the centre. There's no problem here for Bruno or Rousset. I wonder what language they use to communicate. The Frenchman and the Italian, key men in this Hearts defence. Hunter. Turning into John Cahoon. Lucky to get the break of the ball there. There's Tweed. Weir. His first real involvement in the play. Looking for Evans. The layoff finds O'Neill. Promising this for Hibbs. That's for McGinley. And hit too firmly. He did well to pull it back, but had the pass been weighted better, McGinley had a chance.
Michael O'Neill's in a perfect position to set Pat McGinley up here, but he overhits the pass and he's never going to be able to catch that. And at the end of the day, that's always going to be confident dealt with the goalkeeper. McGinley did well to get it back, but it was never going to be troublesome.
Tracking tackle there was by Cahoon. Free kick goes to Hibbs. Tackle from the rear. Here's Tortolano now. Testing Rusey well out of his goal for this. Well, he has the presence to deal with these crossballs so well. He's released Alan Johnston now on the left. He's against Hunter. Movement from Cahoon ahead. Inside the area, and Cahoon hit that with a lot of power. Good effort there by John Cahoon. Fresh pair of legs up front for Hearts, replacing John Robertson.
He does well to take the defender on, cuts across, opens up the opportunity for himself, but never looked like threatening the goal.
That's Gary Mackay's header, returned by Tweed. And O'Neill overheading a pass towards Tortolano. Well, he's complaining to his teammate, Michael O'Neill. The time running out rapidly now for Hibbs. Johnston. Strong tackle by Tweed. O'Neill. McAllister. That's good running by Millen from the back. Could find Michael Weir with a pass, which was his intention. Ritchie to Mackay. Put under pressure there. Hungry play by Hibbs. But McGinley goes storming forward. Tackled well by Mackay. He earns a throw, McGinley. Chris Jackson available quickly. Using Evans as the decoy. He's on the corner kick too with that good bit of forceful play on the right-hand side. Promising young player this, Chris Jackson. Michael O'Neill with the corner. Helped on the far side, blocked in fact by Weir. McGinley's header came off his own man. Well, no luck at all for Hibbs in front of goal. That's a hopeful ball played by Gary Locke. Tortolano with lots of time here to start again via Jim Leighton. John Miller's header. Tortolano now. Well, high ball to Michael Weir really isn't likely to cause much trouble. Aggressive play by McGinley. His foot was up in the tackle. Free kick's been given.
A little bit of desperation is appearing in some of the Hibs play now. You know, and Pat McGinley really had no opportunity to get to that ball, and just a little bit silly giving a throw away in that position.
Eskilsson with Hunter. Two determined characters. Hunter wins that particular joust. McAllister. Evans turning away well from Ritchie. Chris Jackson supporting superbly. McAllister's pass. Here's Weir. It's good play from Hibbs. And Derry held up Weir. Michael Weir getting a little bit overwrought there with that tackle on Gary Mackay. Clear foul.
I think all down to frustration, really. Things are just not going from him, and never get any hope of getting the ball there, and the referee is at the right to give a foul.
Here's Tweed. Reid. Very strong going for that. Throw it is to Hearts. Well, they're finishing the match strongly.
I think Hearts have been the more positive side almost all throughout. There was a spell there when Hibs had equalised it. Really from then on in, Hearts have been the more dominant influence in the game and fully deserve to be in front at this stage as far as I'm concerned.
Well, thoughts must be running through the minds of both sets of players about that last-minute equaliser Hearts got in the last derby match at Eastern Road. Can Hibs do the same? Turned back by Fulton. Here's Rousset, who can't pick this up. Eskilsson. This time Millen stepped off him. And Cahoon going in very heavily there. Now John Cahoon has been guilty of a number of fouls since coming on as substitute. Referee Kenny Clark has decided it's time to have a word with him.
Well, he just leaves his foot in there just a little bit late with Andy Milne, and certainly he's been involved in one or two little situations since he came on.
Now O'Neill takes over Hibs in midfield. That's good running by O'Neill. Needs some support though. Hunter's outside him. Asking too much of himself there. Gary Mackay wins possession. Now Hearts can break. Here's Cahoon. Here's Eskilsson ahead on the right. John Miller's appeared on the left. Over the far side. It is Gary Locke now. It's a good attack this from Hearts. And a good block made by Pat McGinley. Well, Gary Locke trying hard to get his second goal of the season.
He's had an impressive game. Down that right-hand side, you know, Hearts have been very powerful, and really Hibs have never really come up with the answers to kill it. But, you know, that was a good positive run, and nevertheless it was a good block by the defender at the end of the day.
Steve Fulton with the corner. That's an easy one for Jim Layton. He's not at all happy with the attentions of John Miller. Well, but it falls to you to name a man of the match.
Well, it's an interesting one because there's been some very good performances. Jim Layton has really kept Hibs in the game to a large degree, and I was tempted to go there, but I like to go positive, and I like to see youngsters coming through, and I felt that young Alan Johnson has had a tremendous game today. He hasn't scored, but he's had some nearly that wonderful effort from the left-hand side, and throughout I think he's been a shining star for me. So I'd like to award it to him.
Mike O'Neill's volley over the top. Well, he has worked extremely hard in the Hibs cause this afternoon, O'Neill. Things not quite going his way all the time. He's always prepared to take responsibility like this.
It's the type of ball that's difficult to hit. It comes up to him slightly high. He's got to wait for it and really doesn't go over it to control it.
A lot of Hibs supporters making for the exits now. They don't think there's much chance of saving this. And here's Hunter. He won't give the cause up, nor will McAllister. We are beaten to the ball by Ritchie. So can Hibs conjure up something miraculous before the end? One defeat in the last 6 matches. That was at Falkirk in the last match. So maybe 2 in a row they're losing. It was Tweedwell forward. Finished by Berry. Plenty of urgency shown by Hibs here. They want to get the ball into the danger area as quickly as they can. Time running out so rapidly. Torquemano plays the ball in first time. There's Mickey Weir. That's a good ball. O'Neill is offside. Well, look at Michael O'Neill's reaction. That will earn him a yellow card, I suspect. That took total folly from a very good player. Why he should be tempted to do that, I really don't know. Well, Michael O'Neill really blighting a good performance overall. Things have been difficult for him all afternoon. He's battled on, he's kept on the ball as often as he could, but that shows the level of frustration he feels.
He certainly worked very hard to try and create something for Hibs, but really silly what he did there.
Eskelton helps it on, and offside against Cahoon. Well, Hearts fans celebrating prematurely. The linesman's flag. Dougie Smith from Troon. That's Millen. Tweed staying forward. McGinley supporting him. That's Weir. Beaten by Ritchie. Now O'Neill. Tortolano wants the ball played wide. That's careless. Eskelson has possession. And Johnston bounced over by O'Neill. O'Neill's going off. Michael O'Neill is going off for a second booking. He really has just lost the place in the last 10 minutes. Well, what an ending for Michael O'Neill.
I think he's a bit unfortunate here in actual fact. To me, it looks a typical forwards challenge. And okay, he's just been booked a minute or two ago there rightly, but I think he's really been harshly dealt with in this occasion. I don't think he knew what was happening. That won't have done him any good either.
Well, Michael O'Neill's frustration could not be more apparent. Well, a very sad ending of the match for Hibs. Bad enough to lose the match, but to lose Michael O'Neill from the next match is particularly unfortunate. Stephen Tweed guilty of a foul this time. The Hibs discipline in tatters at the moment. The Hearts now in the possession game, and that's liable to produce even more tough tackling. There's Gary Locke, stopped by Chris Jackson. And the final whistle goes. Hearts have won the Edinburgh Derby. It's been a very disappointing afternoon for Hibs. John Robertson scored the winning goal from the penalty spot after Andy Millen's foul. John Miller got the first goal for Hearts. It was young Chris Jackson who pulled Hibs back into the match with a splendid first goal for his club. But it wasn't enough in the end. Hearts have won deservedly. Paul Ritchie, the fine match in defence, staking a claim for regular place in the side, even when Dave McPherson is fit. And Hans Eskelson also performing extremely effectively up front for Hearts. Gilles Rousset continuing his good form in goal. Gary Locke, the young captain, who was fouled for the penalty kick, savouring the moments. But for Hibs, they're back to drawing board. Another blow to their league prospects, and a loss of Michael O'Neill. A real disaster for them right before the end. So, as the Hearts supporters who celebrate winning this Edinburgh Derby, and Hibs go back to lick their wounds in the dressing room.
Yeah, I think a well-merited victory by Hearts. They were a much more composed side throughout the game. They created the greater amount of chances. They were much more solid at the back, and they kept their head when the temper started to boil a little bit, and at the end of the day, well-merited the result.
Well, to score the winning goal, John Robertson is with Davy Provan.
John, Hearts have won their points all right, but given the chances you made this afternoon, do you feel you should have won that match more convincingly?
Yeah, I think we did. We had a great chance. I had a fabulous chance just before half-time to get 2-0. Thought about going round him, but he's a big target to go round, and tried the shot, he saved it. But I thought over the piece we created far the better chances, so although Hibs had a great chance with Gordon Hunter there late on, but we had chances after that again, so I think, although it was only 2-1, I think we thoroughly deserved the 3 points.
Well, your penalty today gave you your 24th Derby goal against Hibs. Are they still as satisfying even when they come from the penalty spot?
Yeah, of course it is. You just ask the boys out there in the stands whether it's satisfying or not. It's just luck, you know, 24 and how many games, it just keeps happening to me, and I hope it keeps just happening to me.
How would you describe the difference in the spirit here at Hearts now as compared to a few weeks ago when you were bottom of the table?
Well, the manager's kept working away. He's told the players if they do the job, then they won't bring other people in. He keeps bringing people in, so we mustn't be doing it. But you've showed the last 4 games. We've won 3, we've drawn 1. We're on the way up. The players are fighting together. We saw that today. It was evident in the derby, even when it got tough. We're keeping going. We're going up the league, and we intend to keep going up the league.
Predictably, the foreigners are getting most of the attention. What have you made of the contribution of some of your younger players, guys like Alan Johnson and Paul Ritchie, and Gary Locke, who's now the skipper here at 20?
That's right. It's there for all to see. We've got a lot of young boys coming through. Paul Ritchie's been immense. He's waited patiently for his chance, and he's grabbed it. And we've got, I mean, you look at our back four still to come in. You've got Stevie Frail, Dave McPherson, Craig Levine, Neil Poynton. You've got a young lad like that playing out his skin. Gary Locke is fabulous. And Alan Johnson, well, he's not nicknamed Magic for nothing.
Well done, John.
Thank you.
Thanks, Robert.
Thank you, Davey. 24 goals in those derby matches has nothing to do with luck. He's earned them. Final score 2-1, 16 attempts, Hearts, 7 on target, 11 from Hibs, but on target just twice, once in each half, 8 corners each. And in the end, 6 booked. O'Neill twice, he was the player sent off. We'll get Andy's thoughts on that in a moment. The possession, first half action areas, well, couldn't have been any closer, could it? Second half, dominated by Hearts, but Hibs had 52% of the possession. We're at Loftus Road. We're waiting to see Queen's Park Rangers play Coventry City. Our guest this afternoon has joined us, Mark Haitley of Queen's Park Rangers, who lists amongst his previous clubs, Coventry City, of course, and Rangers. We'll see Rangers Celtic later, Mark. And, of course, Andy is here as well. Well, in the end, Andy, a smashing little game.
Yeah, second half really took off. The 2 goals in quick succession, and we had a real battle on, a real typical derby. Real end-to-end stuff. Tackles were flying in all over the place. And I'm really surprised as there was only 6 booked.
Do you still keep an interest in Scottish football, Mark?
Yeah, I'm actually starved of Sky Football at the moment because I'm in a rented place and we don't have it there. But no, I try to keep in contact with the boys up there. Made a few phone calls and see how things are going. But keep a close eye on everything.
Nothing worse than being without Sky, is there?
Absolutely.
Drive you insane.
You said it.
John Miller got the opener in this game this afternoon at a stage when Hearts, I think Andy would say, they were on top and deserved to be in front.
Yeah, although Hibs started probably the better in the opening 15 minutes, this was at the time when Hearts were really enjoying a good spell. It's a really horrible cross for Jim Leighton to have to decide whether to come. It gets a slight deflection, I think, there. Kind of spirals up. But make no mistake, that's a really good finish. Didn't put any power in it, just had to make sure he got his studs on the ball and he's just guided it in. When it bounces up like that, about a yard from your body, it isn't easy to control, and John Miller did well.
Hibs, as they did in the first half, started well during the second period, and Chris Jackson got their equaliser, and, well, a good goal too.
It was a smashing goal. Actually started, I think, back on the edge of the 18-yard box when they win the ball. And this is a really good force run. They just back off a little bit too far, I think, Hearts. Neil Berry eventually comes over about 20 yards from goal, and he doesn't get there, but I thought somebody could have come and met him, run a bit now, make him shoot early, rather than allow him into the edge of the box. But he didn't have an awful lot to shoot at, and to be fair to the kid, he picked his spot really well. And I think the thing that'll disappoint Alex Miller from there is that they didn't hold on. Within 4 minutes, they'd conceded the second. Now, that isn't good enough.
No doubt in your mind that it was a penalty?
No. I think this is one of the referee's easier decisions. Andy Milne here, I mean, this is clumsy. I thought this Gary Locke played really well today. He just knocks it past him. Andy Milne's committed to the tackle. And having been booked first half, I was a little surprised that he stayed on. But I also didn't think there was any doubt that Robbo was going to smash that. I don't think in pressure situations like that, you look too often to place it.
I mean, knowing you as I do, you're not suggesting you would have liked to have seen him sent off, but just that the rules weren't interpreted maybe the way that they could or should have been?
Certainly,